And we might as well get some Pixel 3a in here as well, right? Right? Let's see the difference. So, what do we got here? So, this is this that I'm hoping will. What are you hoping, Pete? Where are you going with this thing? Explain to the good people what's going on. This is right. Oh, there we go. How's that? Is that any better? Yeah? A little bit of backlight. Sorry about that. Check the gate. So I've got a little bit extra on the bottom. So this is got a little camber. So these are going to be a series of struts, and they attach. So, like you see this domey dome over here. So this part up here, right? They're all like three pieces that come together, right? That make up a hexagon. So this is that critical piece where they all come together. So you can make them in different sizes. They're not all the same size, but by adjusting that, and you can make these adjustments. But this is basically the start of that. You came through, you saw how it's made out of cardboard and this plastic wrap. Not much else to talk about, but keep the camera rolling. You never know, you might have something really interesting to say. Not likely, but always a possibility. So yeah, once you make these things, if you could make these struts out of this material, then all you need are the connecting tubes. You can do the whole thing in plastic, which seems like a natural thing, and just wrap and make the components and boink to boink and put them together. But you know, who am I to say? So okay, so the other thing is, yeah, now you remember. So you've got this on the outside. Here's this dome. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, Bob. So you've got this dome. So comes to here, makes this square, hexagon. Here's a hexagon. Here's a hexagon, and they just sort of curve around and make this dome structure. And they're basically the same size all over. You still with me? No? Okay, I'll start again. So basically, this comes out to another one here, right? And it makes a 120-degree angle, about 120-degree angle, about 122. So these make a hexagon or a pentagon if you get into trouble. But basically, it's a whole bunch of hexagons. Hexagon, 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 hexagon. Now? Cool. Okay, so these hexagons are basically this strut or connector and a series of pipes that connect them. Okay, we went over that. So where the connection is, you see we've got a nice beefy kind of thing here, kind of bulbous, and what I want to do is kind of draw it out a little bit more on the bottom, draw it out a little more on top, but thin at the top because I'm going to cut a hole there. Boink a boink, and the hole is going to just stay level with the plane. So if it's up top, it's basically fine, but if it's on the side, we need to have just some sort of cupping system. And what's going to happen is there's going to be plants growing out of here. There's moisture running through all the tubes, providing, and then the roots are going to grow up, and then eventually you come up through between. But right now it's just on the nodes, whatever, bamboo, cannabis, whatever you want, that sort of gives this green shade. Because what I'm seeing is you really want to be able to, first of all, do something with all this sun, for God's sakes. I mean, it's there. What are you going to do? Is have it go, oh. So now you're turning it into beautiful carbon. These things just are swaying in the breeze. And it's giving shade to everybody inside and everything inside. So that's that. So that's the dome. And it comes down, and then it hits a series of stuff, and it hits the water. And where it hits the water, there's some sort of buoyancy, but a lot of the buoyancy is negated because it's actually being pulled down by these other strands that provide stability. But yeah, there's a whole lot of thing about that. So there's this long downward pressure coming from it, And then there's strands of different sea vegetables and basically reef type structures. Well, not reef per se, but they're hanging seaweeds. And you like the swing? I get the swing down. Right? So they're there just sort of like a little bit of bob, a little bit of sway, and there's fishes darting in and amongst them. And you see Nemo and all that shit, right? Right? Okay, cool. And yeah, and then there's one of the techniques is using silt as ballast to hold it down, removing silt from the harbors and making a little something in the interim. But all these are just structures that exist in the water that life can grab hold of. So you've got a place where different entities have an edge. That's basically it. Are you done talking? 6 minutes. Jesus Christ. Stay tuned.